Alrighty, guys, thank you very much for joining us here. I am Jason, your host for this Chair League Division 2 match. I am joined by my good friend and teammate here on Chair League, Reaper of War. Thank you very much for joining me, man.
It's a pleasure to be here, Jay, and I'm excited about this Division 2 chair match, playoff match between hashtag Don't Care and East Coast Feeders. Best 2 out of 3. Should be an exciting match.
Yeah, it's we've seen a lot of good competition this year in Division Two. A lot of teams proving their way up the ladder, and so I'm really excited to see which one. This is going to be a round of 16 match, so winner is going to go on, obviously, to that round of 8. And this is a big step for these teams. This is a good opportunity for them to show that they can get things done in a best 2 out of 3 scenario. Most, of course, the whole regular season played in single game matches. So this is going to be their first best 2 out of 3 series of the season. So it'll be a good opportunity for them to really prove themselves.
This is what everything's led up to, too. So it'll be nice to see some great matches tonight.
So right away, hashtag Don't Care. Gonna look to put a little bit of a healer chokehold out here. Gonna ban out Brightwing to start this off. Kind of foreshadows to me that they're wanting to pick up that Malfurion and deny that Brightwing here on a very rotationally oriented Braxis holdout map. And there they are. They're forced into that Simoru ban. Is East Coast Feeders.
They've also took away the global presence of Brightwing as well. Very strong.
And right away, they pick up Malfurion. So really, I think you've made a good point to me a couple times that Ariel is a really, really strong healer in this format as well. But I really think at the top of that list is Malfurion and Brightwing. So hashtag Don't Care is focusing on the supports for this match, which as a support main, I really like.
Such a strong first pickup as well. And they will opt to pick up Tychus to go against, maybe push out a double tank comp.
Yeah, that Tychus pick definitely foreshadowing the idea of double tank for the side of East Coast Feeders. I'd be surprised if they don't pick one of those up right here to guarantee themselves a good one to start this off. I mean, the healer chokehold has already basically been applied, so you're gonna get kind of a substandard support pick anyway. Might as well go ahead and get yourself a good tank while you got an opportunity before this next ban phase.
It also takes out them drafting into a Chen and Rexar solo lane on this map. They're very strong solo laners, so that takes them away from them as well.
So right away, we see Muradin and Sylvanas picked up here. Sylvanas, really good on here on Braxis holdout for being able to snowball this in your favor. If you're able to get up early, as we saw last night, I know you and me, Reaper, we played one of those matches last night in Hero League, man. That's Sylvanas pick can be really, really strong here for hashtag Don't Care if East Coast Feeders doesn't respond to it early.
Especially if you pick up the lead, too. I mean, this map tends to snowball a lot more if you can get a strong push at early game. So Sylvanas a great pickup.
So we also see the Muradin pickup. So before these next ban phases pop out and they have the opportunity to apply that tank chokehold over on the side of East Coast Feeders. Hashtag Don't Care doing a nice job picking up Muradin early and doing a nice job of not really picking anything that's too out of the ordinary. They can kind of hold those pocket picks for later on. They've got one good strong frontliner. They've got their support. They've got Sylv, who is an obvious pickup on this map. So the meat and potatoes still in those last 2 picks for the side of hashtag Don't Care. Vala, the ban out here for East Coast Feeders. So, of course, they've got Tychus, probably one of, if not the best AA hero out there, maybe other than Vala. So they're going to go ahead and ban that one out to deny it from hashtag Don't Care. And continuing the support chokehold here, Ariel. Like I said, man, there's really 3 in the top of the meta right now. As far as possible solo healers go. If you're East Coast Feeders, do you think about maybe going with a double support to be able to keep up with Malfurion here?
Or do we see an Uther for the ETC combo?
Divine Mosh. Can't forget about that.
Very viable option. And they do opt for the Chen since they did pick up the Tychus, a very strong solo laner. So I'm sure we'll see Chen either solo top or solo bottom.
Yeah, and Chen is just so powerful on this map for being able to sit on those points. He can just sit there and drink all day, and if you don't have a good stun chain for him, he can just spend forever just holding those points.
I'm sure we'll see him disrupting the backline a lot in the game as well. So, such a solid pickup.
So they've got another pick here. They obviously need a support. Probably want a little bit more backline pressure. But I don't know. I don't feel like they really need to get a support here. We doubt we're going to see another one from hashtag Don't Care. So the question is, what backliner do you want here, Reaper? Oh, they're going to opt to go with that support pick. They're going to save it. They're going to wait.
They're tanking away all the tank killers for the opposite team. Very smart play for them.
Nice. Yeah, no Kharazim means no seven-sided strike. That big percentage ultimate where it can really knock out one of those tanks quickly if you get it caught in. But here's Thrall and KT. So there is your meat and potatoes for the side of hashtag Don't Care. And between Muradin, Malfurion, Thrall, and Kael'thas, that is a lot of CC over on the side of hashtag Don't Care. They're going to be looking for picks.
So the question is, do they pick up Burst for the last damage dealer on the East Coast feeders? I'm thinking so.
Yeah,
they
Li Ming still.
For Jaina, very good lane clear. A Li Ming, very good.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the concept of a Jaina here, but they're going to choose to go double support here. They're going to go Tassadar to round out their comp with that Kharazim. So they're going to be looking to out-sustain on these points to be able to get this rolling here on Braxis Holdout. That should be a pretty interesting strategy. You do see a lot of long sustained fights over these beacons, so that might actually work for them with the big tanky front line they have. And the only giant killer over on the side of hashtag Don't Care is Thrall, and he can be pressured back pretty quickly. You know, he's got decent sustain in that front line, but we'll have to see. No real burst damage over on the side of East Coast feeders. So Muradin and Thrall don't have too much to worry about unless they're staying in for forever. Malfurion, good solid sustained healing, and Kael'thas can come in following up that CC chain and blow somebody up. So I don't know. Who do you think's got this draft? Just looking at the draft, who do you think's won here so far, Reaper?
Hashtag Don't Care if they can get away with the first 2 points, and if they fail to do so, I think East Coast feeders will probably take it.
All about those beacons, all about that point pressure, and I really, really like both teams have. You're right that I think it's two different strategies here. I think that East Coast feeders is looking for the ability to hold these points and be able to sustain on them, while over on the side of hashtag Don't Care, they're looking for the ability to follow up really, really well and be able to really take advantage when they capture them. So we'll have to see if they can indeed capture him. But here we go. We are loading in here for Braxis Holdout here. Chair League Season 3 playoffs are underway. Opening weekend. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. It's definitely going to be a fun one here. Hashtag Don't Care, East Coast feeders. As best 2 out of 3 series. And both teams solid comps. I don't see any big weak point that we can really poke at here. Reaper, I think both teams have drafted very well to start off.
Both strong drafts.
So we'll have to see where these guys decide to go early. It's like you said, I think they can, over on the side of East Coast feeders, can definitely send that Chen out to solo lane. Question is, which way are they going to decide to go? And is hashtag Don't Care going to try this Sylvanas cheese that we see so often?
See the push right off the start. I think we will. I think East Coast feeders will be looking for a denial on the towers. So.
Facility powering up.
All right, so here we are. Braxis Holdout loading on in. On the left, we have your blue team. Hashtag Don't Care. with Team Captain Blings. Going to be playing Sylvanas, Turkala on Malfurion, Caustic on Muradin, Ryu 475 on Thrall, and D-Rek on
Systems
Kael'thas.
online.
And on the right side,
10
East Coast
seconds.
Feeders on the red. We have ETC, Zango playing ETC,
4,
Josh playing
3,
Tassadar,
2,
Ryu playing Tychus, T. Tyler playing
Facility
Chen,
online.
and Titch on Karazhan.
And right away, we see it is going to be the solo laners in the top, and we're going to see the 4-man rotations to the bot. They're not going to be overly aggressive here with that Sylvanas Cheege ability, but Blings is going to go ahead and test out that B button a little bit. Zango going to return the favor. Both of these teams, I think, little gentleman's agreement, right, to send the solo laner where they're supposed to be in that top lane.
Opting the safe play for the start of the game. Very smart, feeling each other out.
Well, this is game 1. It's gonna, by the end of this series, they might be able to telegraph a little better. But I think you're right. For now, these guys just want to feel each other out a little bit and see what they're going up against.
Looking for some tell, looking for some weakness in the team.
And right away, we see a fairly even exchange in the top. Teehee Tyler going to be a tough one to go against on that Chen in that top lane. I feel bad for poor Thrall, but Caustic getting in a little deep. Going to go ahead and back out just in time for Zango to slide right in front of him. But right now, it's like you said, they're just kind of poking back at each other. Neither team overcommitting at this point, trying to see where they can get. And we are seeing some neat little abilities thrown out there by D-Rek on that new Kael'thas skin. Haven't seen a lot of those yet.
And he is building into his convection for his Flame Strike.
Yeah, so he's going to be looking to hit as many of those as possible, and playing super passive until he gets that all the way built up. Going to get one in there on Josh. Nice prediction of that rotation coming back up and around. But this is a good map for it. You know, you get a lot of opportunities on these beacons for fairly predictable rotations and enemy positioning, where you see he'll go right around the back here, and he'll get yet another hit out on it as he gets that stun. Titch getting in a little bit far, but they are going to end up backing out of the situation for now. But they are sustaining. I feel like they could go in here a little bit. Meanwhile, in the top lane, we do have Ryu and Teehee Tyler fighting back and forth, but Teehee Tyler is going to be able to sit on that all day, no problem being able to sustain in that situation against Thrall. Meanwhile, the poke back and forth here. Neither team giving it up right away. Nice CC combo, but the slide is going to come in. Turkala is going to have to back out of this situation, getting a little too far in on Malfurion. Rue also taking a lot of damage in there, and he's going to have to back out. He's got no mana. He's got less health. And it is going to be won for now by #Don'tCare. But Chen doing a nice job of pressuring Thrall away from that top lane. Teehee Tyler is owning in the solo game.
East Coast Feeders are bunching up a little bit too much for the Gravity Labs, taking the chain bombs and passing them on to each other. I'd like to see them focus on not bunching up as much.
For sure here. And I'll tell you what, #Don'tCare has got to continue to win this bottom lane, because I don't know if they're going to be able to win that top without some sort of massive rotation coming in from them. At this point, they're doing a nice job of out-sustaining, but we'll have to see if that continues as we start to see East Coast Feeders hitting a few more of their power spikes later on in the game.
They need to rotate out of the chokehold they're putting themselves into as well. It's putting them in too much of a bunch, so...
Yeah, we're already seeing some nice damage coming out on this front wall of this bottom fort. They've got one of these towers down. With Sylvanas, they can continue to pressure this a little bit extra, making these nice rotations down to be able to share these globes in this bottom lane. But we are going to go ahead and see a rotation here. Rue coming around very aggressively. Rue is all the way in the back here. We do see the side of #Don'tCare turning on him. He is going to get stun locked, but the sustain is real, and he's going to barely get taken down. Caustic making that dwarf toss in to finish it off, but they do trade it out for Kael'thas there. And the root coming down on Titch.
For the bottom.
Yeah, that was the one opportunity I felt like East Coast Feeders has really had here. A very aggressive positioning there, and Tychus almost made it out. He was so close That dwarf toss to finish it off, though, from Caustic was not going to let him get away with going in that deep, I'll tell you. The punishment was
losing
on.
Tychus, not having their damage, it's hard to hold the point in bottom.
Yeah, I would say about impossible at this point. But we do see they are starting to come back. That timer is not too long here. And they do have a slight level advantage here. Right now they have 7. So they've even got that, but there it goes right away with that clear. We do see level 7s have been picked up by hashtag don't care as well. Oh, and D-Rec getting a little bit caught out here. The full collapse on him. He is going to be taken down, and this is the opportunity that East Coast Speeders is looking for. They're going to continue to pressure this, and they're going to push them right out. And for once, first time in this match, we're going to see both beacons picked up, and it is going to be East Coast Speeders starting to charge those Zerg pens in the top lane.
Chen jumps on Thrall, but Thrall slowly gets away.
Yeah, Ryu able to hit that Wind Fury and get himself on out of there. But we do see the rotation from Caustic here. He's going to actually go ahead and help him capture this to be able to block for a little while. Rotation from Titch in return. And these two are going to be able to out-sustain indefinitely here. There is no way that hashtag don't care is going to be able to hold on to that point against those two.
This big sustain and the big bullying, if they can hold these points, they can pull up a big advantage for their team, seeming how the hashtag don't care have a strong push team.
Yeah, I felt like they made a big risk in drafting this team, in drafting these heroes, because if they lost these objectives, Sylvanas was going to be able to really steamroll, but they did a very nice job in the first part of this match, being able to get those map objectives, hold those points, and here come the Zerg in the top lane, 100-0 on this exchange, and they are going to be pushing in with this a 4-man squadron to go ahead and push in with this. And they do leave Tassadar in that bottom lane to try and clear against the solo laner Thrall, but D-Rec doing all he can to throw out the damage. Nice wave clear on Kael'thas, though, to be able to handle a lot of the Zerg push at least. But this is going to be the first fort of the game, going over to East Coast Feeders.
They're just going to back off now. They got their objective, and I think they're just going to safe play now, probably rotate, grab some camps.
I'd likely be served food without you.
Well, in level 10, right around the corner here, they hadn't quite picked it up yet, but they can start to pressure a little bit here. Still half a level away for the side of hashtag don't care, but you're right, both teams immediately going out to capture these camps. They're murking.
Oh, and we got a rotation going on Chen. 3-man going up on Chen. They get him stun locked.
But he is going to be able to barrel roll out of this situation. Oh, that's what your level 10s will do for you. Give you a little bit of extra escapability there for Teehee Tyler. He'll roll his way on out.
But of a waste of an ult.
Well, it does at least allow him to live at this point.
And they do have a strong top going on. Strong push going on top.
Yeah, this push is a little bit ridiculous with Sylvanas. You're going to be able to push indefinitely. This is going to have to be something that East Coast Feeders answers to. And like I said, this is the power of Sylvanas. She shuts down these towers and allows you to just push. But the rotation is coming in from East Coast Feeders. They're going around the backside. Here comes the Odin coming in from Rue. He's going to be coming in around. And we see 3 members completely cut off here. Blings is going to go ahead and get over the side. Also going to throw in the Wailing Arrow, though, to silence 4 members. It does look like they're thinking about turning on this.
To let Malfurion escape the situation. I thought he was gone for.
Well, and they're still thinking about chasing it here. Rue, super low on health. Both teams are going to end up walking away, but you're right. There was not a whole lot of follow-up there. They rotated in and did a lot of damage, but they let him walk right through. Even with that Twilight Dream, They let Sylvanas wave over the wall to get out, and everybody was able to make it out of being in there way too deep.
So we do see the stage dive picked up by ETC, Force Wall by Tychus, Force Wall by Odin by Tychus, Barrel by Chen, and we got Divine Palm by Kerosene.
Yeah, Divine Palm, an interesting pickup here. Gonna see if he can save a couple people at the last minute. But right away we see those bombs spreading on around. And again, we see the push. This is a full 5-man commitment to this bottom. Rue is gonna be haymakered back into the team, but he's gonna be able to walk away. Actually, is gonna be blown up right as that palm comes down. A big miss there. And the aggression is real here from the side of hashtag don't care.
No pun intended.
Well, yeah, maybe a little intended. But we do see them holding this bottom beacon for the time being. Not going to be any real commitment to it yet, but we do see Chen coming down. Meanwhile, the rotation in here from Ryu is going to be able to pick that up. That Teehee Tyler are going to re-rotate, and this is going to be a full 4-on-4 Odin being popped here by Rue as they start this engagement. Meanwhile, we do see Titch getting caught out a little bit here by the stun lock. The silence also coming in. Wailing Arrow going to be enough to finish him off there. And right away, they lose one of their 2 healers. And Teehee Tyler rotating down is going to be able to get Muradin in response. So that's going to be a 1-for-1 here as they fight over this bottom beacon. Level 13s are here for hashtag don't care as they've gotten just a slight XP lead at this point, Reaper, but it's still very close.
As long as Sylvanas is hitting her Wailing Arrows and the Twilight Dreams are perfect, you will see a different outcome in these team fights, that's for sure.
Yeah, the follow-up opportunities are real as we do see Ryu has disconnected here. Not sure how we feel about Bot Thrall going up against Teehee Tyler up at that top lane. Might need to see a pause coming out here. And there it is from the side of hashtag don't care. But yeah, like you said, you're right. There's a lot of follow-up potential here to have this team silenced for a very long time. I'm a little bit surprised that we see a Haymaker coming out from Muradin. But, you know, hey, they've got a strategy to be able to isolate one of these healers, and they did a nice job of being able to isolate Tychus long enough to be able to take him down. It did take the Sunder to finish him off there, but a solo tank Muradin with Haymaker here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I think about that talent, getting rid of such a high self-sustain for a tank as Avatar is, especially against a dual tank and a Tychus, to be able to burn him so quickly and so fast.
Yeah, meanwhile, as for the other talents, pretty standard across the board. It's like you said, Haymaker, a little bit surprising here, but yeah, everything else seems pretty standard. I don't see anything too crazy out of the ordinary. Odin, an interesting choice here on a map that is, you know, so point-based, where you can get a lot. I think you can also get a lot of value out of Draken Laser Drill, but there is also a lot of collapse potential and AoE potential on the side of hashtag don't care, so they can definitely knock that thing out pretty quickly if they turn on it.
I think they were using it more along the lines as a poke and a push potential on his Odin, is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We do have the East Coast feeders right now with double beacons. Now,
yeah, they're holding it for the moment. They do look like they're in a pretty good position to continue. Muradin still a little ways out, coming from that death. Meanwhile, in that top lane, our bot Thrall doing everything he can against Teehee Tyler, but that's not going to end up working out for him. It's just been wrecking him all match long in that top lane. They just they didn't draft a solo laner that was really capable of taking care of Chen here, Reaper.
Correct. I would almost like to see maybe a Rexar. Like, sure, you get rid of Sunder, and of course you got the Tychus on the other team, but as long as you can stun lock and isolate him, he can't do the damage he needs to.
Yeah, and right now Kael'thas just getting a ton of hero damage out, as is Sylve, but we are back underway here. And like you said, this is starting to charge for for the side of East Coast Feeders. They are going in, trying to get some damage out on Zengo. They've got him already down to about a third of his health, and they have pushed him successfully off at this point. But Malfurion going down to Rue and Josh there in the bottom of that team fight, and they will be able to successfully push them back and recapture that beacon, as well as Teehee Tyler being able to almost get this one, but Caustic dwarf tossing in to block it just at the very last second, and we're gonna have to see him barrel rolling his way on out. That Wandering Keg, mostly used defensively here, but I can imagine a couple times later in the game, Reaper, where he might be able to get some positional advantage. Meanwhile, the full slide in here, they're diving on Flings, who does still have that Haunting Wave available, but will still be able to walk away from this situation. And it is going to turn into a 4v4 here on the bottom as they continue to fight over these beacons. Meanwhile, the top one has been captured, and it is charging for the side of East Coast Feeders. That was a last-ditch attempt, but it's going to be too little, too late. 100, yet again, is going to be pushing in this bottom lane. Second time in a row where East Coast Feeders has really won it. D-Rec getting caught out is going to be completely taken out from a very nice slide and isolation there from Zengo. And the Zerg are on their way into this bottom fort. Down KT, down their main source of wave clear here, Reaper. That's a really, really big problem.
And such a great force fall by Josh Tassadar there to lock Kael'thas in there as well and isolate him away from the team.
Yeah, the zoning tools are real in this four-man down here between the CC potential. Oh, but Rue's going to be haymakered right through the wall there. Even double support. Oh, but the bomb comes out to save him. But the silences are too much, and they're going to...
not enough.
Just not enough. They're going to lose Karazim and Tychus trying to save him in there. Very nice haymaker there from Caustic, and that is going to force the retreat from East Coast Feeders. They're able to clear that up. A little bit of damage to the front wall of that keep, but they are coming back in return. They want this bottom keep for their trouble. They feel like they've earned it, Reaper.
And such a solid haymaker too. So they did have a plan for the haymaker, and we've just seen it come out there very strong. Very good pick on Tychus.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of amazing haymaker plays, but Caustic, it's like you said, they had a plan. How many assassins do you see over on the side of East Coast Feeders? Tychus. He's going in there and he's isolating Rue with that haymaker every time. And every time he's gone in there and haymakered him, he has died.
And that's the key to the game. They wasted the palm on the Karazim on Tychus, but it wasn't enough for him to get out because there was still a wall. So very smart play. Very smart play. And that's all they need to do. They need to isolate Tychus and make sure he can't get off the damage that he can do, and you may see a change in tide.
Yeah, and as soon as we do see one of those full Zerg pushes at this point with both forts down, it's almost a guaranteed keep here with Sylvanas. I don't know if we have the wave clear over on the side of East Coast Feeders to be able to deal with that situation, Reaper.
And we have both teams looking at the boss. Maybe we're going to see a team fight here somewhere in the middle.
Caustic's looking for something. He's going to go ahead and throw that stun out on Zengo, but we do see them kind of backing up, both teams. Just like you said, they're still feeling each other out a little bit, still looking to see where those weak points might be. If somebody steps out, maybe get to one of these squishies on the back line if they step forward a little bit too much, like maybe D-Rec is right as we speak. But we just see the isolation out, and it is going to be Chen blown up instantly.
Caught out, and this is what they needed, was a pick, and they got a strong wave pushing top. They may just opt to take the wall and back off, or maybe just go get the points right away.
Yeah, a little bit of indecision here from #Don'tCare. They win this team fight really decisively. We get that pick, I should say, on Chen, and full retreat mode from East Coast Feeders, but they didn't quite know what to do with it there, Reaper. They didn't make a decisive call and commit to it right away. A little bit disappointing.
we are seeing the East Coast feeders punishing them for making the mistake and not rotating on the points early.
Oh, but the silence coming out. Titch is going to be blown up, as well as ETC. That's a 2 for nothing. And, oh, the side of hashtag don't care with the rotations. The rotations, Reaper, are crisp.
And I think we're going to see a full push on top.
Yeah, full 5-man push coming in. They have Sylvanas.
Feeders to grab the beacons at all.
Oh, yeah, they didn't grab either one. And they're just trying to defend at this point. They're looking at posturing, but 3 members down here. This keep is gone. And we're going to see the Zerg push in the bottom lane also.
So I think they're going to opt to back out of this and start rotating to push the bottom in it as well. Maybe they can get 2 keeps, maybe even the game here. Who knows?
Yeah, little to nothing pushing in that top lane. They don't have any minion waves, but they've got the full 100 Zerg push to be able to go onto this right away. They're laying down a ton of damage on this front wall. They have bursted through it, and the Zerg are on the keep here. The 5-man defense squad. And we do get the K, completely zoning out Ryu.
Diving in too far, he gets the palm popped on him. He may escape. He looks like he's gonna go down.
Oh! Stage dive to get out, but Chen and Tychus die in response. And
this should be game 1 for hashtag don't care, solidifying it against a double tank team.
Oh man, what a comeback. It felt like East Coast Feeders was owning most of that match, but like you said, they dominated the late game. They got a couple of good picks there, and they had the rotations to be able to take advantage of it. Very smart play and patient play coming out from hashtag don't care, showing a lot of composure there.
And the big thing is when hashtag don't care turned the tides of war, they jumped right on it and finished the game. They did not let East Coast Feeders respond. Such a great pick at the end to solidify the win.
Yeah, they started with that Chen, and I don't feel like they did a very good advantage of taking advantage of that one pick. But before Chen had been able to come back up and really get back into it, they rotated on him. They got another couple picks. They actually had 3 dead there, and then just snowballed it from there. You're right. As soon as they started to feel a little bit confident with their late game team fighting, they did a great job of being able to get that done.
Well, look at the damage on the side of hashtag don't care as well. You got Sylvanas pulling up big numbers, 83k. You got Thrall pulling out 60k, and Kael'thas with the big 93k.
Yeah,
just a lot of damage potential on the side of hashtag don't care.
Yeah, and they knew who to isolate there in the early game. They kept a lot of their hopes alive by isolating that Tychus. You know, Rue had a rough match there. 5 deaths because he just kept getting isolated. He had a good amount of damage, but he was the only true damage dealer for the side of East Coast Feeders.
And I mean, with the Murden stuns, you got the Malfurion roots, the Sunders off Thrall, the great silences from Malfurion Sylvanas, and Kael'thas' Phoenix to zone them out. Just a perfect synergy.
All right, so that is game 1 going over to hashtag don't care. And we are going to see game 2 is going to be their map pick as well, and we are going to be going to Cursed Hollow here, Reaper. Another very patient map, a map that's mostly about map awareness, rotational awareness, and getting those objectives. So we'll have to see if we see a similar couple of comps coming out here from these two teams and these priorities.
Maybe more globals opt into this match, or even more poke potential. Maybe East Coast Feeders looking to pick up more damage in this next game, I'm sure.
All right, let's go ahead and get these teams on into the lobby. What are you going to be looking for from these two teams in drafting on this match, Reaper? What do you like here on Cursed Hollow?
One of my favorites would have to be Falstad, seeing how he can get across the map with ease. Brightwing, also another great global on this map. Li Ming, a strong poke. You know, you could see the Chromie, very unlikely. She's an easy counter for very good players. But I think we're going to see a lot of poke, and who knows, maybe even a double tank. Double tank, strong front line on this.
Makes a lot of sense, and it's like you said, I think global presence is one of, if not the biggest things on this map. Falstad, Brightwing, especially, but there are others. You know, we do see Tahaka coming in from time to time, and this is, of course, the home of Abathur. If you're ever going to play Abathur, this is the map that you do it on.
Play the curse out and soak the lane, and you know, you got to play careful early game, but when it comes to later game, Abathur is a strong pick.
Yeah, you can really annoy your opponents with that rotational advantage here with Abathur, but we'll have to see if either of these teams are willing to pull that out. It is going to be first pick, first ban going over to East Coast Feeders here. So backs against the wall here, which I know is a phrase that Reaper loves us to constantly say over and over again in these situations, but they are going to be tournament life on the line here, as they're looking to pull us to a game 3 here on Cursed Hollow.
Such a solid first match too, but I think the East Coast Feeders, they're going to come out with a little bit of different draft here. I think they realized they probably didn't have the damage, and they were just going to try and bully them off the points, but I think they're going to opt for more damage, more poke this game, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it makes a lot of sense. This is a map where sustain is a premium, but you also do need the damage to be able to pressure your opponents off of these points and ultimately be able to pick these up. It's, you know, you can stand there all day. All right, my bad. Looks like these guys need the OBS link still. But ultimately, yeah, you know, you got to be able to pressure them away. Right away, Brightwing got to be the ban out here for East Coast Feeders. This seems a little bit familiar, Reaper, if I do recall.
The Brightwing ban, solid ban, and we see the Samuro very strong right now. I'm sure we won't see that until we see some nerfs on him.
Yeah, we saw some slight nerfs, but I think they might have still been a little bit too slight, and the exact mirror of what we saw last time. Both teams going with the same exact first 3 picks and bans here, but Malfurion going to be the pickup here for East Coast Feeders, so they have the sustainy support, and we'll see how they respond. ETC, the pickup for #Don'tCare. And
we like, see the Falstad. Good disengages with the Gust, the Global to get across the map very easily, soak lanes, and come to the tribute late. So nice pickup there.
And they've got probably the best global hero in the game, and have also been I should say, side of East Coast Feeders have also denied them their ability to get Brightwing. So right now we'll have to see if they decide to go with some other sort of global presence throughout this. But they are going to go ahead and pick up Vala, one of the best sustained damage dealers in the game. And, you know, other than Ariel right now, there is no real good sustained healer that could be an option left for #Don'tCare. And they still have this ban phase coming up where they can get rid of it.
And they did take away the Malfurion, knowing that #Don'tCare, the Twilight Dreams just totally annihilated. And look at them taking away picks from Don't Care already.
Yeah, they saw a lot of that Muradin play coming out from #Don'tCare and Caustic, and they did not like it. They're going to go ahead and steal it away for themselves. But yeah, it's an interestingly mirrored draft. You know, we saw ETC over on the side of East Coast Feeders last game, so they're picking it up this game. Malfurion and Muradin were on the other side, so we'll have to see if that gives East Coast Feeders the edge as they continue on in this draft.
Well, with where Muradin and ETC stand right now, being the 2 top tanks, I'm not surprised to see either one in this draft.
No, they go ahead and pick those up before this next ban phase, and that is probably going to proc out some other bans, and Tassadar gonna be the ban out by hashtag Don't Care. That's again, it's all about the sustain right now, and it looks like they have something else in mind other than possibly going after the Tassadar pickup here.
And with East Coast Feeders having a player who plays TAS really well, in the tight spaces, you could see some really good force walls come out as well. So, and I mean, they got a lot more damage going on for them.
So we are going to see the Tychus ban out here from the side of East Coast Feeders, where they picked it up last game to be able to protect themselves when they were going double tank. Banning it out here could be some very easy foreshadowing to the idea that East Coast Feeders probably wants to go double tank in the rest of this draft.
I'm thinking they're trying to look for the Chen again and maybe pair it up with something different, maybe more damage this time.
And Chen is really, really rough to deal with on this map, with his ability to constantly deny on those tributes, to be able the mobility to be able to get around and easily do that. He's also, like you said, he's a really good solo laner. He's got good push potential. He's good at taking camps. You know, what don't you get out of Chen on this map other than global presence? I mean, he's one of the best heroes that you could think of. And, you know, if you're thinking of Abathur, Chen's not a bad person to put the hat on either.
And we're going to see the strong pickup of Li Ming and Ariel. Ariel probably going to be trying to proc some healing mana off of Li Ming here.
Yeah,
strong poke potential. Very strong.
Yeah, when you got Oriole, usually you want a good sustained damage dealer to be able to give you those constant, to be able to get that constant energy. But Li Ming is the one exception where that burst damage that's coming in from Li Ming is pretty constant because of her low cooldowns. So not only is she putting out a lot of damage and giving you a lot of heals, but they're constant. They're not like from a Jaina where the cooldowns are incredibly long and you could be waiting a while. So strong pickup there. Li Ming also really strong on this map for her poke. She's got the ability to be able to deny on those points for days. You have to push her away before you can expect to get yourself a tribute, Reaper.
I'm excited to see what East Coast Feeders pick up here. Are they opting for the double tank? Maybe that's why they banned Tychus and saving their flex pick for last to counter whatever hashtag Don't Care brings to the table.
Yeah, I think you're right on with Chen. I think that's what they're gonna go, and there it is.
And they do pick up the Chen.
They go with the Chen, and they got a little bit of time here for that last pick.
And that Nova coming out?
Is that really Nova? Is that the real Nova?
Number one player killer in the game. Hashtag Chew8.
Man, you know, when you're East Coast Feeders and, you know, you got one last shot to stay in Season 3 Chair League, you gotta bring out the weird, and there's nothing weirder than a Nova pick. But not a terrible pick here, mind you, on Cursed Hollow. A lot of good opportunities for her to get good angles for those snipes, and good deniability to be able to come in when you're good and ready in that stealth. Also, though, a lot of choke points can be rough for her if they are able to scout out. And so far, no real vision, no real extra vision for the side of hashtag Don't Care. We'll have to see if they try and pick something up to counter that here, but they're just going to get Thrall instead. So no real reveal for that Nova pickup.
And I'm thinking if they can get Chen in the back line and Nova just to disrupt the squishies, she may work out well with this comp. Plus, her vision off of her clones, it could work out well for them.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how that turns out. I mean, I think it's a very interesting pick. It's definitely something that we did not see coming. But could be pretty good for them here. I think there's a lot of squishies over on the side of hashtag Don't Care, and a lot of support. You know, a lot of peel for Nova if they do decide to turn on her. If she gets a little bit out of position between Chen and Muradin, maybe two of the best peelers in the game. So a lot that can be done there. And
So
just
now it comes down to Li Ming. Are we going to see her go teleport build, or is she going to stay her standard poke build with the missiles? I guess it'll be, with the Nova coming in the back, teleport build could be strong.
yeah, I would expect to see Calamity here against this comp, but you get too far out against Chen or Muradin, that could be a problem too. So we'll have to see. There's not a whole lot of peel, but it's not it's not really a dive comp. ETC's not bad at peeling, but yeah, there's other than Nova, that Vala also can be a pretty big problem for Li Ming if she goes in too deep. And on this map, usually you want to see more of a poke build come out from Li Ming because that's where she's strong on this map, is the ability to poke out the objective and stall for days in that sustained game to be able to pick up tributes.
So I think they're going to opt to have a Thrall solo lane. They're probably going to have a single lane ETC, or they may use ETC for 3-lane pressure. Now that's what I'm thinking they're going to look at, but who knows how they're going to play it.
But yeah, definitely the global presence of Falstad, I think, is going to be felt here over on the side of hashtag don't care. Stage dive ETC is also something we could definitely end up seeing. There are definitely some serious counters on the other side for East Coast feeders to that mosh pit. So we could be seeing double global presence here from hashtag don't care, but no global presence at all from East Coast feeders. They're not going to be very mobile. They're going to have to be really quick on these rotations if they expect to keep up for this map. And we'll have to see.
And I think the other member of the team's back, and I think they're ready to go.
Yeah, looks like
should
we are
be jumping in here shortly.
Yeah, pretty much everybody ready to go here in lobby, just waiting for that one last player to go ahead and ready up, and there we go.
I'm excited to see what Nova can do for this team in this match. I mean, their backs are to the wall, and they're pulling out this Nova pick, and hopefully it can work for them. It'd be exciting to see a game go to game 3.
Yeah, for sure. And Cursed Hollow, it's one of those maps where it usually goes late. You don't usually see a whole lot of Cursed Hollow maps that are really, really short. And I think in this scenario, we could see both of these teams going all the way to the end, where it could be that last team fight. We see a lot of times on Cursed Hollow, it goes down to that last team fight and that last opportunity to be able to push in. But we'll have to see which team can take advantage better. Again, those global presence heroes makes it a little bit easier to be able to rotate around and take advantage of a curse, of an extra pick. It's a huge, huge map, Reaper. You got to be able to take advantage and get where you need to go.
Heroes.
Well, we are loading in here on Cursed Hollow. Hashtag don't care. East Coast feeders here in the playoffs for Division 2. We do have hashtag don't care is going to be your blue team on the left. Blings is going to be playing Li Ming. We're going to have Caustic on ETC. Turkala is going to be playing Ariel. Ryu is going to be playing Thrall. And D-Rek is going to be playing Falstad.
5.
And on the right side for the red team, the East Coast feeders, we have Zango and Muradin, Josh playing the Nova, Teehee Tyler as Chen, Ruan Vala, and Titch as the Malfurion.
So we do have both teams going ahead and coming on to the middle. Nobody getting a little bit too cheeky in either of those side lanes. Again, that nice, gentleman's agreement. They're going to go ahead and agree to feel each other out here in the middle. Make sure nobody's getting too aggressive. But we do see both teams going ahead and rotating on out to pick up their vision. Bala going to go ahead and rotate to the bottom. ETC, Solo's laning, just like you said, to the top. But right away, we see poor Chen, T. Tyler, D-Sing. So, what do you think, Reaper? What are we going to see here from the lane rotations? Are these guys going to... where do you think these guys are going to end up going here?
Well, very interesting right now, because, on the blue side, hashtag don't care. They have 3 in the center and 1 position on both lane. Now, for East Coast feeders, they've had nobody rotate up top yet. Now, they can't throw Nova in the solo lane. I mean, they can, but she can't soak, and she needs to be on the rotate. She needs to be getting picks. So it's going to be interesting if they can take advantage of that Nova pick and push hard early. It could be pretty solid for them.
Yeah, it could very well be, though, that they wanted Teehee Tyler up in that top lane, and Chen just hasn't had the opportunity to rotate quite yet with that DC, but they're going to lose at least a little bit of soak here in that top lane.
And shots are fired from the teammates in game. I know who will be kicked off this team this season. T. Tyler already kicked off.
Uh-oh.
Kicked off and kicked out of the game.
Man, that's a rough way to start here in the playoffs for this poor guy. Yeah, that they are correct that does not look good. That is looks like 4 DC attempts there. As far as talents go, we are going to see Power Hungry coming in from Li Ming, so no big shocker there. Nothing too crazy. Block Party. We are going to see Falstad going ahead with the Mage Burst build, Gathering Storm. Going to be building those stacks. It does look like it's going to be more of a sustained auto attack build there for Valo with that Hot Pursuit. 4 mana users over on the side of East Coast feeders, so no big shock in that Shondo's Clarity pickup there from our from Twitch or from Titch there on our Malfurion.
And it looks like East Coast feeders may opt for a sub. As Teehee's Tyler internet isn't that great, he's supposedly playing from a hotel as of now. He might be on a business trip or something, or maybe he's boring Wi-Fi off McDonald's close by and it's just not running well for him.
Yeah, that cord probably just wasn't long enough to make it all the way out to Mickey D's. But
yeah, correct.
But could be in LA getting ready for BlizzCon. You never know.
True. I think that could be quite possible. That might be the best case scenario.
I know for sure. I'm definitely ready for it. I wish I was going, but definitely ready to get some serious headway on knowing what's coming up in the future of Blizzard. I'm expecting some kind of announcement for Heroes of the Storm. I'm not quite sure what. With all what they've come out lately.
I think we might see some new maps and new heroes coming out. Especially with the new drop of Legion, maybe you're going to be seeing...
Welcome back.
Oh, and we do have a start. The player is back in the game. Here we go. So we are going to see Chen rotate up to top the solo lane against ETC. You're going to see Murd and Malf in the middle paired up against
Hero has left the battle.
Ming and Thrall. And at the bottom, we have Ariel with Falstad. Nova comes in, grabs a pick on Falstad. Vala following up such a solid pick.
Yeah,
and this is what they
a solid
need from
choice
Nova
and
Day.
a solid pick.
And this is what they need from their Nova.
Yeah, those strong rotations and those aggressive moments. That Falstad just caught just a little bit out there, but more than enough. And meanwhile, D-Rex
Falstad fly in, getting aggressive bottom lane. Vala picking off 3/4 of his health. He has to back and tap.
Yeah, he was looking for the revenge kill there. Was D-Rex even finding out Josh there? Gonna have to take a moment to get back into Cloak to be able to rotate away here. But yeah, you're right for sure. These guys, I would say D-Rex not appreciating that early rotation and kill. Definitely out for blood there.
2 minutes up. No one's opting to take the Siege Giants at the 2-minute mark. I don't think we'll see much for camps this early game.
And the stun lock going out on Li Ming. Very nice follow-up, and it's like you said, Josh really on point with these rotation and gank attempts. Oh.
And I mean, and Malf's route there was just amazing, followed up by Muradin, and finish off by Nova. Can't ask for anything better.
Yeah, these early picks with these nice... It's still nice rotations. They're not losing out on any XP with these rotations and ganks, but they've gotten these couple of picks. It's given them about a half-level lead at this point, Reaper. That's a really big deal.
And I mean, you got Vala punishing hard bottom, and you got Chen punishing hard top.
We do see the first tribute coming out. It is going to be in this bottom rotational advantage coming in here from the side of East Coast Feeders. We'll have to see. It does look like both teams are going to go ahead and full rotate to this. Ryu is going to have the ability to stall this out until the rest of the team gets here, but a little bit of a stall. We do see Josh getting caught out here, and we are going to see Ario getting that whip out to stun, but Josh getting out with just enough help, but D-Rec comes in with the barrel roll to be able to finish off that kill. The resets are in here for Blings, but we do see that they've already picked it up here. Half the side of hashtag don't care. First tribute goes over to them. So that was a rotational nightmare for the side of East Coast Feeders. The route they went, they were able to find out Nova, and not a whole lot they could do for her in that little chokehold, in that little alleyway getting down towards that tribute.
They had good positioning to keep hashtag don't care from coming down to the tribute and rotating, but Josh just getting caught out of position and thought he got away, and here comes Falstad out of nowhere to blow her up.
Yeah, the revenge kill was real there from Josh, but or from D-Rec, I should say, onto Josh. But yeah, Josh looking for the revenge kill. But D-Rec's learning his lesson here. He's not going out beyond this fence very far, and Josh even gets in with the snipe attempt, but it was just a bit outside.
And I think D-Rec seen that coming, seeing how Josh has been pressuring bottom quite a bit. We're going to see the next tribute come up in the bottom right corner on the side of East Coast Feeders.
Yeah, they do definitely have a rotational advantage to this one. But we do see that hashtag don't care is here. They do have their poke heroes. They do have the ability to stall this out. D-Rec is going to go ahead and throw that hammer in to force Rue to move a little bit. Bling's getting harassed in here, though. Nice zoning for East Coast Feeders. They're going to take this tribute with great ease. But we do see Caustic never really rotated down. Is going to get a little bit of extra soak here. And is going to go ahead and pick up a half-level lead for his team so far.
And we do have some late rotates. I mean, Falstad can fly, but it looks like ETC's going to opt to go top, and Falstad is going to take over mid as they 3-push bottom against a bullet.
Yeah, 3 members are down here, though, for the side of East Coast Feeders, so a nice response to this bottom look. And it's like you said, Reaper, nobody opting for camps at this point. No real strong camp takers. As both teams are just focusing on rotating to try and get these tributes and the soak.
And we do see hashtag don't care reaching the 10, their level 10 mark, but they will not get it during this tribute, I don't think.
Yeah, it does look like that they're not going to get it, but both teams probably going to have it before the next tribute. But both teams are here. They are going to go ahead and fight over this one. Full contesting coming out here. Caustic getting in a little bit deep is going to be able to back out of that situation. Meanwhile, Li Ming with a little bit of a late rotate, but Blings is here. Is going to start throwing out those abilities to pressure. Caustic getting very low in the middle of that, but Ariel doing a nice job healing him back up. Meanwhile, D-Rec is getting way low in the top. Is going to get taken down by Teehee Tyler, and that is going to proc a bit of a retreat up there. Caustic not being able to stay in. 3 members still pretty healthy, though, with these Ariel heals. Josh doing what he can to try and pressure back, and Caustic tries to rotate in from the top, but that's going to be a big mistake. He's going to get blown up. Meanwhile, level 10's right around the corner here now for both teams. Which team is going to hit it first? It's probably going to be the next team to get a kill here. Repredated it, and Ryu is getting caught out, gets a little bit too deep. Teehee Tyler with that kick in, and with level 10's up. Oh, but look at D-Rec with the full fly-in. Rue
aggressive
barely survives.
Trying to stop the curse.
And the gust! The stall out. Level 10s are here. This is going to continue going. Look at the positioning from D-Rec, though. That has got to be... Oh!
D-Rec barely gets out with his life.
Oh, the greed coming in here, Reaper. It's showing. But it does look like
fight
gonna-
for this tribute was strong. Are we going to see any more contention? I think that's going to be it in hashtag don't care walk away with that one.
Yeah, the long-term sustain of Malfurion, not quite enough to be able to keep up with the Ariel Li Ming combo. That sustain was real.
And the fire from Falstad to get the poke on that tribute to ensure they take it back and using his gust to keep the 2-1 lead.
Man, I'll
Because
tell
I
you
think
what,
it's gonna
Reaper.
pop on.
I'll tell you what, man. I thought D-Rec was insane. I thought he was literally insane in his cabeza, man. But he made the play. He made the full-on play there. I got to give him a lot of credit for that.
Huge plays, and we are going to see Josh and Rue rotate down for the East Coast feeders and pick up those Siege Giants just before.
Oh, and
Next
Team
tribute.
Tyler! Oh! Gets caught out in that top lane and destroyed. And that is a huge pick as here comes the tribute. Chen still 15 seconds from spawning with the tribute in 10. And they've got all three members in this top lane pushing this front wall with an easy ability to rotate right onto this trib.
And Thrall isn't rotating. He's opting to take those bruisers, and he's slow on taking the camp. You've got a big wave pushing bottom.
Yeah, it's going to be too late to really get any value out of this, so this is a 4v4 situation. Chen is going to beat Thrall in a big, big way here. It does look like that hashtag don't care is really just here more to feign at this point and maybe
East
try and
Coast
poke it
feeders
out.
need to go in and push them off the point while Thrall is not yet in battle.
Yeah, but here comes Thrall, and he's got that Sunder ready. The Gust comes out for the stall, so they're not going to have that available here. But we do see Rue getting in deep. The Sunder will come out, and they're going to focus in on Titch, and he is the first to fall. Caustic getting very low on the backside, as well as D-Rec. But it does look like both of them are going to be able to escape. Thrall not so lucky. Chen being able to at least zone out a little bit here, but it is a 2-for-1. However, Josh is going to be able to get the cast out on that trib, so they lose one more hero, but they do get themselves that second trib.
We didn't see the stage dive. I was shocked we didn't see it early. I mean, we had the Aegis come off to save ETC, but maybe if he would have stage dived, he could have made something happen there early in the fight.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, holding that stage dive. Well, we do see triple tap coming out from our Nova player. That's going to be an interesting interesting mechanic as we see from Josh. But Strafe coming out there from Vala. Twilight Dream, of course, no big surprise. Wandering Keg yet again. It is going to be Avatar this time around, so we're not going to get to see any big...
Seeing the Haymaker
No more
fight.
Haymaker. On the other side, Crystal Aegis coming out along with Wave of Force. So that's going to be an interesting pick. They are. We do see the full Calamity build coming out from Blings on Li Ming. And just like you said, stage dive is going to be another global presence. Meanwhile, oh, Chen going down in that top lane. Caustic getting a little bit caught out. They are going to try to exchange. The Crystal Aegis going to save him just long enough for Turkala to be able to get that heal out. And Aegis is burned, but they are able to get Chen out of that exchange there. And they are also going to have Ryu in the bottom lane, and with no global presence, I don't think they have time to rotate to this. They're not even going to try.
And here comes D-Rec. D-Rec's coming in strong. Is he going to block off the team? But they don't have enough time, and they're just going to opt for bot.
Yeah, they
gonna
knew
steal
that
their
without the
side
global
boss.
presence, they didn't have time to rotate down, so they just go ahead and take the boss instead. A little bit of a
Solid
misplay
play with
there.
the Siege Giants still going on the top as well. I mean, they knew East Coast feeders could not rotate. They needed to pressure them. Maybe one-man take, four-man pressure.
Yeah, and with D-Rec and that Gust, they also could have tried to make a play for that boss if they realized that that East Coast Feeders was up there. But they do elect to go ahead. They still get the curse. Oh, and Josh is in dangerous territory there, but is able to slip away without the detection. Again,
D-Rec
right in
is
front
out
of
for
D-Rec.
blood.
Oh, the triple tap is going to be interrupted by Caustic,
And the
however.
slide.
The green
And we
coming
can
in
see
from
Josh
Josh
go
with that
down.
triple tap. Woo! Gonna pay for it.
Has destroyed a fort.
D-Rec up top lane, clearing out the boss, and the 4 off to push the middle as the bottom is already pushed in quite a bit.
Level 16's right around the corner here. With the extra structure damage, should be enough to easily pick that up, and there it is. And all of a sudden, big advantage for the side of hashtag Don't Care. We'll have to see if they elect to pick up on that at all. D-Rec gonna have to back up from a lot of damage taken clearing that boss.
And I think we're going to see a rotate on the boss. We could see a fight down here, possibly a throw. I'm not sure if hashtag Don't Care or just kind of checking it out, see if people are rotating, maybe catch somebody.
Oh, the
ETC
slide
comes
in on
strong with the
Titch.
side.
Rue getting low, and the Calamity.
And the Sunder to finish off Malfurion. They're going in deep. Are they going to finish off Chen? I think they're just going to opt for boss. Pull back.
Yeah,
And
that's all
take
they.
advantage.
That's all they need there. You're right. They rotated down. They hid in that bush just long enough to catch somebody out. They got the stun, and the follow-up was there. Reaper was a very beautiful play there from hashtag Don't Care.
And I mean, Vala popped her strafe, but she was getting blown up anyway. She almost should have saved it. I mean, it's a shorter cooldown, but, you know, it's still 20 seconds. I'm sure it'll be up before they challenge, but I don't think she needed to pop them.
Yeah,
They
it
might
wasn't
have been
really going to
better
get a
off
whole
with
lot of
Reign
value there,
Vengeance
for sure.
as well. And I'm sure you're waiting just as I to see when this stage dive is going to come out, because I've been waiting all game for it.
You know, it's one of those heroics that you only use when your team really needs it. I know as ETC, when I'm playing ETC, I tend to pop it a little bit too often, and then I don't have it when I really need it. So it's probably what they're looking for here. We are going to see the natural rotation from Caustic, and the flyover and Gust.
Are we going to see the stage dive? No, the silence comes out and he's rooted and he's got Crystal Aegis, so he's going to be saved. I don't know for how long. Boom goes the dynamite. 2 members down. They're still on the chase after ETC. He will get barreled back into the double tap, and that's 3 men down for hashtag Don't Care.
East Coast Feeders with a really incredible defense here, as they are able to stave off the attack of the boss and the full 5-man commitment from hashtag Don't Care onto that bottom keep. They do a nice job of pushing them off and go and getting a 3-for-1 exchange in that situation. Reaper, very impressive.
And I think we're going to see a rotate, possibly a curse. If they can stall it out, and they did get it, they're going to get the curse. And I was about to say, hashtag Don't Care, turn the game around like they did the game before, but now it's in favor of East Coast Feeder.
Yeah, the turnarounds are real in this match. It's like you said, they did have the advantage early, but they did get a little bit of an advantage here. Did the side of hashtag Don't
And
Care,
here goes
but
the stage dive.
well, there's your stage
And
dive,
they're gonna pick
Reaper.
off Josh.
Oh, and
They're
the
not done
slide!
yet.
They are still going in after this. Zengo is on the retreat. Is going to go ahead and get caught up here, though, by Blings with that Calamity. The chase is on. I'm a little bit worried, though, that, oh, man, the
Sunder,
waste.
the resets, the teleport damage. He pops his frost barrier, but it doesn't matter. He's exploded, and that's 4 down.
And that is going to be a
Win
wasted,
the game.
wasted 3 tributes here for the side of East Coast Feeders. They get the curse, and they have the opportunity to push in, but a brilliant response from hashtag Don't Care, being able to get a huge advantage in this situation. It's going to be able to clean up this curse and only lose the bottom fort out of this. Incredible response in this situation.
So we did see the Calamity, and we did see the Illusionist. And she's pumping out 48,000 K damage right now. Very strong. Very good on the resets. Popping those skills at the proper time, and they're just going to opt to clear lanes, put some camps on the map, and I think both teams are going to do so. Maybe set up for a boss.
Yeah, boss is up over on the side of East Coast Feeders. It does look like they could take this fairly uncontested right now, but of course they have no vision on where hashtag Don't Care is. But they are going to go ahead and get this started. A little bit of a late start. They didn't rotate right to it. But they do see in the bottom lane, they see hashtag don't
4
care.
at the bottom, and they're just letting this boss get picked. They know the boss is up. They've got 1 in the top lane that they can see 4 in the bot.
Yep, that's going to be a free boss going over to East Coast Feeders in a world where level 20 has been picked up by hashtag don't care. I feel like they could that could be a missed opportunity if they
And it looks like they're rotating for the bottom keep. They look like they're opting for the keep.
well, they could
But we
end up
don't have
getting it here.
ETC here. We do have the we do have the stage dive, but East Coast Feeders are rotating nicely in. We're going to see a disengage with the gust.
Oh, but the poke coming in from Blings having just enough. ETC, I think, is going to have to stage dive here. But it does look like he's holding it. Oh, and the nice Teehee Tyler Keg to be able to get Thrall completely isolated. And Ariel's going to go down as well. I got to say, where is Caustic in these fights? He had the ability to stage dive in there to try and peel, but he just held it.
Yeah, you think you would have seen the stage dive after the disengage with the gust to help your team out, but it looked like he had other priorities on his mind, and this might be a free boss. Another free boss for East Coast Feeder.
Yeah, level 20 is
And
also
possibly
in.
the tribute.
Yeah, level 20 is also in play here. So they get the opportunity not only to pick up a couple of key picks there, they're going to get a free boss, and they get level 20s to be able to even this out. Josh playing a little bit of mind games with them up here, trying to see if they can bait them into a pick, but ultimately it is going to end up, like you said, being that free pickup, that free tribute, as both teams still need 2 here, so we may not even see another curse at this point, but the boss pickup is going to be huge. It does look like they're going to elect to go ahead and push with this one in the bottom lane.
They do have Siege Giants pushing in top. They get a strong push top, but maybe they can trade a keep for a keep here. It is quite possibly maybe get some picks in the game.
Yeah, ETC yet again soaking in that mid lane, waiting on that stage dive, seeing if he's going to go ahead and come down for the defense. We do see some nice poking going on, but Ryu getting a little bit low. But here comes the stage dive. Huge stage dive on Titch. The Sundering also going to come out to deal a lot of damage to him. Meanwhile, Ryu getting caught in, but the huge gust from D-Rek. Instantly, we're going to see Malfurion blow up. That's 2. 3 for 1 in this point. D-Rek gets killed for his trouble, but Josh is not going to be able to get out of this situation. Teehee Tyler also on the retreat, but hashtag don't care. Takes a full team wipe
And
here.
we're still not done going for the Chen, the 5-man pick. Are they going to rotate or are they going to go for the game?
Oh,
they
this-
could end right now.
This is game with 4 members, or with all 5 members down. They're going to be able to rotate to this bottom. No way they're going to be able to defend against this. And hashtag don't care. Doing a, it's like I said, man. Caustic, he held it right until the moment he needed it. The
And
very
he
second
did.
he needed
I
it.
bet you he was playing it. He was just waiting to use that stage dive. They gave East Coast Feeders the chance of a comeback, and sure enough, that stage dive was the game winner.
And hashtag don't care will be our team. Moving on, sweeping the best 2 out of 3 set here over East Coast
Solid
Feeders.
back and forth game.
They're moving on. But yeah, you got to give a lot of credit to East Coast Feeders, man. They were down a couple of times in this series, and they never gave up. They kept having good, solid moments in these matches where it seemed like they could have easily won either of these matches, Reaper.
Well, you seen the Sunder and you seen the stage dive, and they didn't get much out of it. And then you seen the gust, and it's like, well, the team's gonna explode now. There is nothing left of these people. Such a solid way to finish the game. And I mean, the comeback was real. It was back and forth there for a while, but like you said, hashtag don't care solidified it with the stage dive, the Sunder, and the gust back into the keep.
All right, so let's go ahead and see if we can get Blings in here for a quick interview. Well, you got to look at those numbers right away, man. 60k damage.
104k soak off of ETC, man. I think they were playing them. He's like, if I just sit in lane, this team's going to think, oh, ETC's like tilted or something. And then all of a sudden, here comes Superman flying down to save the day, smash their team.
For sure. It's like, it's not the stage dive, maybe not the stage dive they wanted, Reaper, but it was the stage dive they needed.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was their Superman for today. And Falstad with the amazing plays for top, stopping that trip, because you knew it was going back to the side of East Coast feeders, and just that aggressive play, the Gus, the stage dive, the Sunders, just solidified the win.
Yeah, that was a pretty incredible 2-game series. They, it's like you said, they had a little bit of back and forth going throughout the entire match, but we saw ultimately in both of these matches as they ran longer and longer, we saw hashtag Don't Care not getting tilted, not being put off by a pick here, a loss there. Let's go ahead and get Blings on in here, Discord, but just in general doing a really, really nice job of keeping their composure throughout the entire match and being able to finish it off at the end.
And a very solid follow-up to finish the game, making sure the team was wiped and pushing in. Not that they had much of a threat of losing anything, but very solid inning.
We are joined by team captain for hashtag Don't Care, Blings. Congratulations, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Uh-oh. No, we cannot. We can't hear you.
No, your mic's not working as of now. But, of course, my first question is going to be like, was that ETC play plan where it made it look like, oh, ETC's not going to rotate, and then all of a sudden, boom, bringing out the magic. Setting up the team fight.
Yeah, the magic was real. The timing was also real. Just the very. I kept thinking, oh man, Ryu's going down. Thrall's getting so low in the middle of that. Where is Caustic? And boom, he comes out. The huge giant blue circle of death comes out just at the right second there. It was beautiful, beautiful.
And I mean, they waited for the boss to be cleared before they played anything, but it was well planned, and they knew they could punish. And I thought East Coast Feeder would at least get more aggressive there and try to take that keep with a couple people down, but it let them have time. ETC built them up, and he was looking for that level 20 early, and they punished him for it.
Hey there, any luck yet, Blings?
I wonder if he's got an on push to talk.
Well, it could be.
He's just got to find that magical key to help him out with his voice.
Exactly. Uh-oh. Yeah, he can't hear us either. That is a bummer. Let's try this one more time.
Can y'all hear me?
There we are.
There it is.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations. Big win for you guys.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so Reaper had a very, very pressing question for you about ETC.
So I know your ETC was getting a lot of soak in the lane now. It looked like you had almost planned it to where you were trying to take them away, and you're like, okay, I'm going to let them overextend. We're going to clear boss. Then we're going to Superman in and finish this up. Was that part of your play? Part of your plan?
I You talking about the last team fight at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Where ETC was you had him solo laning, and I think he had that plan for the stage dive, but I wasn't quite sure.
I would honestly give that play out to Caustic. That was his heads up on that play there. Because nobody really called it out, but he did. He goes on the stage dive in once boss was about dead. So he stage dive, and then Falstad direct followed up with the gust in the background, which pushed him into our keep. And I think that was a heads up play because honestly, I didn't think about it at the end until I saw Falstad, until I saw direct fly in, and I was just like, okay, this is about to get real.
Yeah, D-Rec flying off the hook all over the place there, and you with your resets, gorgeous resets, hitting your skills and making sure that the kills were coming off so you could reset quickly.
Oh yeah, you gotta get that domino teleport ping going.
Just
So now that you
hanging
guys
all over the place.
dominated a 2-0 series here, is there plans on anything you guys need to work on going into the next match? Like, do you do a follow-up on the team, check their comps, check their maps, anything of the sort?
We will for sure be doing some research on the probably the 4th seed against the 13th seed. We'll have to see how that match goes, and then definitely watch those replays, and then probably do a little research on Hot Slog, see what they like and what maps they prefer for sure.
Yeah, so I guess my question's kind of the same. How much did you look into East Coast feeders before this match?
I would say probably close to an hour, to be honest, on that, because I went on Hot Slogs and did a fair amount of research today. I was just kind of sitting in the class. I was a little bored, so I got on, did a little research, and started scoping through which heroes they wanted. In that first game, I was a little shocked by the Karzim pick, but at the same time, I noticed that one of their players had a level 20 Karzim, so I was expecting it, but it just kind of, on that map, I wasn't expecting necessarily that comp, especially that they were going with. It was a little rough match to kind of get through the early game on that one.
Well, yeah, you guys did an excellent job of zoning out the Tychus, and I think that's what you need to do. And it's like they almost opted into Karazim for the 7-sided strike, which he didn't end up going. Like, he was just basically taking it away from you, is what I seen. Or, it was great haymaker play, too. We were kind of stunned at the pick, but it worked out where you got Tychus over the wall, and you guys just dominated from there. Just turned the game completely off that.
I totally didn't expect the haymaker, but Caustic, I'm gonna give him play to that. He had some great tank plays.
Huge Falcon punch, and that completely changed the game because I think you wiped 2 or 3 of their members. You took the pylons and you just pushed in for the win. You took top keep, went to bottom, and that was it. Solid rotates.
Oh yeah, on that, I think when we definitely hit our power spike once we got 16 on Brax's holdout for sure, because with Sylvanas vulnerable, I don't think they were expecting it, because it first hit Chen there at the top shrine, and he just used Barrow to escape and then came back in, so we focused him down. But once we hit 16 with the power spike from Thrall and Sylvanas, definitely kind of snowballed a little bit, especially with having Sylv itself.
Oh yeah, and that's what you need to do with the push. But you guys had awesome rotates on the Chen to pick them up twice there, and it definitely did change the game in your favor.
For sure.
So, what are you guys looking at for next season as far as your goals? Are you guys looking for winning your way up into Division 1? Is that what you guys have your sights set on?
That is for sure our sights, Division 1. We tried to, placements, we tried to win every game so we could possibly get the chance of getting placed in Division 1, but we were happy with Division 2, and then going from there, we're just have to focus and try and win our way back up into Division 1. But yeah, that's definitely the goal, and then we'll have to go from there. I think the placement games were just a little rough for us because this was our first season in Chair League, and first thing being with each other as a team itself, and because I just recruited everybody from placements early at the start of this season, and I think the synergy is starting to click with the pit plays and the familiar play style that we're starting to get with each other.
And on that note, you got HGC coming up soon where you'll have chances to go up against the pros and stuff. That's something to look forward to as well with the synergy coming up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be awesome actually to do that. I haven't really talked to them about it, but I think definitely most of us are in school, so we'll have to see how the commitment goes. If that's something we're looking forward to, we can definitely try and think about maybe registering and then going from there. Because I know that's going to be some tough competition. Because I have a lot of buddies on my friends list who are GM right now who are talking about it. So just going to have to improve our play a little bit. I think our next focus for sure, especially with, I believe it's me, Ryu, and Swift on our team. We're gearing up for this, and then Dorm is coming up here in the spring. So that's our next sites.
Nice. What team do you guys play on for the dorm?
Dorm. It's Southern Illinois University Edwardsville, SIUE. Last year we I think made it to just before the last knockout stage before the Twitch streaming. So hoping we can get a little better off that, because I know we've all improved since then. Because I know I've learned so much in the past year since then, and it's been a pleasure with this game. This game is so much fun, so much to do and so much to learn.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot deeper than people give it credit for. Absolutely. Any tips or any tricks of the trade that you'd have to any of the other aspiring Heroes of the Storm players out there that are looking to move on up in the Heroes community?
I would say definitely for sure starting with Discord, just because it has a lot of player base that have like recruiting sites. I know just being part of a couple of the Discord channels themselves, being part of Insomnia's Discord, guys want to check that out, check his stream. And then because he has a lot of play with the amateur league division and people who are running that, along with the competitive HOTS, educational scrims with Cavalier, and they have Kevin and Toby who run that along with Huge, which are honestly, it's a very good play to go with them and just kind of learn, watch the replays as they're going through, listen to them. And that's just the biggest advice, is just honestly is listening and willing to watch your replays, see what you did wrong, and look at your play and understand that if you made a mistake, it's not the end of the world. But as long as the first step is always recognizing if you made a mistake, and that's the biggest step, and then just going from there, looking at rotations, and always ask people for help. This game, there's a lot of people out there who are willing to help people and just learn. There's coaching sessions available, and I've taken a couple of those. I have a buddy that I've kind of learned with it, and it's just a lot of those things out there. Definitely Discord's the big one, and then watching the pros play themselves, you can learn a lot about the meta, what they like, the talent choices for sure.
Well, you got the whole rest of the week.
nerves?
You got the whole rest of the week to rest up and gear up. What are your plans for BlizzCon? Are you going to be going, or are you watching from home?
I'd probably be watching from home, maybe. I don't know yet. I might get a virtual ticket, but I'm debating on that yet. But I'll for sure watch the finale for Heroes of the Storm, the semifinals this coming weekend for sure.
Yeah, best opportunity that we're going to have in a while to be able to watch the pros play.
Oh yeah, because the next LAN event's not till the spring, so kind of gotta get your fix now.
All
Well,
right.
congratulations on your big win, and we'll be seeing you in the next match, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you guys in the top 8 next week. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You guys have a good night.
You too.
And good luck with your endeavors.
Thank you, sir.
All right, guys. Well, that is going to do it here for us on Chair League. Congratulations once again to #Don'tCare. And great job by East Coast Feeders putting on a great show for us here tonight. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. And, of course, Reaper, thank you so much for casting with me tonight. Your first ever Chair League cast. I think it went off pretty well.
There was a little bit of nerves there, but it was definitely my pleasure to come and cast with you, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.
And we will be back tomorrow night. Well, Reaper, he'll have to make some life decisions and see if he still wants to do this. But I'll definitely be back here tomorrow night for another Chair League cast, 8 o'clock Hope you guys join me for that. And you guys can check out chairleague.com. Be able to see all the rest of these Chair League matches this week. We are in the round of 16 here in the Season 3 Chair League playoffs. So it's going to be a lot of fun watching these teams in all 4 divisions moving their way on up towards that sweet, sweet t-shirt that's waiting for the champion at the end. So thank you so much for joining us, guys, and we'll see you again tomorrow night. Have a great night.